This is not the cloud DJing video I intended to make this week. Let me explain. You see, for me, the idea behind Rekordbox's Cloud Library Sync is brilliant. Your whole music collection, your cue points, your loops, your playlists, all synced to the cloud, all accessible from any laptop, any piece of DJ gear, even your phone. Prepare a set at home, carry on your studio laptop, make your final touches on your phone on the way to the gig. Walk into the venue, log in, it's all there. And I wanted to make a video this week showing you how to use it. But having spent far too long tearing my hair out here in my studio on my own, having spoken at length to working DJs, to developers, thank you Mixmaster G, to other Rekordbox users on our team and to students of our school, I was struck how often the same strong advice came back. Don't go there. There are too many issues. So instead, here's an honest rundown of what I've found. I'm sharing this as both a chance for you to have your say, but also to hopefully help the company figure out the most important things they need to fix. Okay, so number one, the fundamental issue, the Dropbox integration is a mess. So Cloud Library Sync runs on a combination of Dropbox, which of course is a third-party service, and Alpha Theta's own cloud. Now that's complicated enough, and I'll come back to the Alpha Theta cloud bit, but let's concentrate on the Dropbox issues to start with. Specifically, Cloud Library Sync encourages you to use a huge business Dropbox account managed by Alpha Theta, where every cloud user, that's you, gets a sub-account. Now, if you already use Dropbox personally, they suggest you fold your personal Dropbox account into your user account on their Dropbox. This means that you don't pay twice, but it also means that your personal files and photos and documents and all that stuff now sits on their account. They're fine with that. They say you're good to do this. However, if you don't already use Dropbox, they actually make you go and sign up with Dropbox first and then give the keys to them. All of this stuff feels really clunky and weird to me. Now, you don't have to use their Dropbox. You can use an account that you completely control. You just link them up. But if you're subscribing to their software, that means that you're effectively paying twice because all their subscription options include Dropbox. But you can use your personal Dropbox. Even then though, you're not in the clear, because if you use the Dropbox desktop app, which is pretty normal of course, it seems you actually must have that installed even if you don't open it in order to use Rekordbox, but that's another story. If you do that, you can end up with duplicate files and with other conflicts. Alpha Theta themselves now seem to discourage running the Dropbox desktop app and Rekordbox at the same time. They warn you that if you do that, you have to make some crucial changes. But honestly, they should be managing all of this, not you. It's a complicated mess. All right, our second beef. It's too easy, far too easy to break things. The single issue that's caused more frustration among our students than anything else is what we call the move versus copy setup option. So when you enable cloud, Rekordbox needs to get your music into the Dropbox storage, right? Originally, you were offered two options. You could copy your music there, or you could move your music there. Now move, of course, means your music is removed from where it originally was and now lives only in Rekordbox's cloud storage. And if that sounds risky, it is, because you can no longer use that music anywhere else, other DJ software, other music apps, whatever. For them, it's gone. But people really got into trouble with this. So Alpha Theta seems to have removed this as a global option from all their plans, at least from all their plans apart from the professional plan. But even for everyone else, it still appears. It still appears as an option when you're doing certain cloud operations. Click the wrong thing when it pops up and you're in trouble. It should have been removed entirely by now and it hasn't. And it's not just that. It's far too easy to create duplicates in your collection in other ways. And then once you have, it's hard to know which ones are safe to delete. Moreover, if you're a Mac user and you use iCloud Drive, the chances of inadvertently messing up are high because you've effectively got two sync solutions that could be in conflict with each other. If you get new music, but you get new music on a second laptop or on your phone app instead of your main laptop, it gets downloaded to your main laptop in additional places separate from your main collection. And you really need to be sure you understand this because you can change those settings. And if you change those settings, you might break things without even realizing what you're doing. And also back to Dropbox, if you're happily using Dropbox already, and many of us are of course, to store DJ music or productions, and you've played music from that Dropbox on your Rekordbox, as soon as you turn on Cloud Library Sync, that previous approach will very likely break. So our third beef, once you turn it on, It shows you all your music everywhere, but you can't play most of it. Why? Well, nowadays they're advising you to only sync the playlist you want, not your whole collection. A bit like exporting a USB for a gig. But instead you're doing it to the cloud. But that's never how it was designed. It wasn't even an option at first. And that shows. So let's say you sync a playlist of 100 tracks to the cloud from your laptop, doing what they say. But your full collection is 5,000 tracks. Now, when you log in from, let's say, a CDJ or another laptop, you'll see all 5,000 tracks listed. But only 100 of them are actually playable. The rest just sit there, grayed out, unavailable. It's a mighty mess. Remember I said Cloud Library Sync actually uses two separate services, right? The Dropbox with your actual audio files. In the background, Alpha Theta's own servers sync your metadata, the track names, the cue points, the loops and all that, for everything, regardless of what actual music files you've uploaded. And that's why this happens. It might make sense if full sync was the recommended approach, but it isn't. So if you're left with a cluttered view of tracks you can't use, that you can filter out, you can do it if you know what you're doing, then it all looks a mess. And frankly, it's fiddly, it's unnecessary. So fourthly, this whole thing raises privacy concerns. Your whole music library is on a Dropbox that's owned by someone else. And the metadata is running in the background on a service that you can't see, you can't examine, and you can't control. It's syncing detailed data about your entire music collection. Now, I don't know about you, I'm very cautious about things like this, especially nowadays. Your music library is personal. It reflects your taste, your sets, your style. Is it being used to train AI? Is it going to be used to advertise to you, to get you in trouble? I've no idea. There's absolutely nothing to suggest that it is. Nothing at all. But it could very well be that you're not comfortable with this. It's something we have heard again and again. So number 5, the features and workflow keep changing with practically every new Rekordbox release. Something about the cloud is added, removed, or the recommended way of using it shifts. None of this is really announced. It's not announced clearly anyway. You just kind of discover it. If you're just experimenting with Rekordbox, honestly, who cares? But if you're relying on this for your gigs, well, you can imagine, right? You can't build a reliable workflow on a foundation that keeps moving. Now, from what we can tell, from our own community, from our student feedback, our recent Cloud DJ survey, and from just conversations, adoption of this is actually very low. And that makes anyone using it today essentially still an early adopter. And as the company figure out how they're going to make this work, you're going to have to learn these new workflows and these new workarounds. And you're potentially going to have to decide afresh if it's for you at all as things change. So this is not the video showing you how to use it that I wanted to make. As you can possibly tell, we're not quite ready to make that video yet. So instead, here is what I would love. Firstly, I'd love to hear from you. If you're using Cloud Library Sync, tell us what's working and what isn't. Your experience matters. Now, I don't want to hear that you don't trust the internet. That's true for any cloud service or for streaming platforms. What I want to hear about is this cloud service, because it's my hope that the people at Alpha Theta will see this as user feedback that can help them to fix the wrongs and to make this work. But until they do, our honest advice is to hold off using it for anything other than experimentation. Keep an eye on it, but don't build your DJing workflow around it just yet. We'll be the first to tell you when that changes. Now, all that said, we are a DJ school. We teach on this company's gear. There's a lot to learn about Rekordbox, and there's a lot to learn about how to use Pioneer DJ and Alpha Theta equipment that we're very happy to teach you. They do a lot of things right. If you want to know more about our Rekordbox Made Easy course, head over to digitaldjtips.com, where you can see that it sits alongside other software courses for Serato and Traktor and so on, alongside training for all kinds of DJing, alongside the best mixing training in the business from the biggest names in DJing. Our all access pass gets you the lot for life, including everything we do in the future. Do check out all access over on the site as well. But meanwhile, from me, Phil, here in the studio, get good, get out there, make the moments, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.